Hey guys, it is time for our little Q&A session. I allowed myself around 15 minutes or so I'm going to answer as many questions as I can in that time period. And I promise you, and if you know me and my channel, you know I'm telling the truth. Look at these eyes. Would these eyes lie? I haven't seen any of the questions, so to keep things fresh, I have my secretary write things down. And I apologize, I haven't been able to answer any of your questions lately because I didn't even want to look at my comment section. So I wanted to keep this fresh and as live, I guess, you could get it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you I have not heard any of these questions up until right now. And thank you to my secretary in advance. I'm sure you'll do a great job as usual. Beautiful woman and a beautiful voice as well. Alright guys, hope you enjoy the Q&A, and if you guys like this one, we'll do another one.
So the first question is from Motaz Abdel Rahman. His question is, what was your motive or your motivation to start lifting, or your story with lifting?
Oh my soul. One of my first memories watching Pumping Iron. Lou Ferrigno, Franco Columbu. And other than that, I guess just being the younger brother to older brothers, you want to build up your muscles and at least defend yourself, I guess. But other than that, just fell in love with the sport. Alright, next question.
This one comes from Oliver Orzeski or Orzesk.
It's fine.
Do you think Arnold would be a top bodybuilder in our era, or could even win a Mr. Olympia, given he would be using all the same stuff the guys are taking nowadays?
Arnold Schwarzenegger dominated because he was Arnold Schwarzenegger. If he was around today, I believe he would dominate just as much, if not more. After all, he spent more time as Mr. Olympia than anybody else. 10 years. Won his first title in 70, finished off in 80. If he was around today, he would most certainly be Mr. Olympia. For sure.
The next one is from Mark Haywood. What or who is the single greatest moment in time Physique ever presented?
That's a tough one. I don't agree with this, but a lot of people would say Marcus Rule at the 2002 Night of Champions. For his time, Arnold Schwarzenegger, 1974. He was really good in 73 as well. 71. 74 probably, Arnold Schwarzenegger. 1993, Flex Wheeler. Arnold Classics. Ronnie Coleman, 99. Dorian Yates, 93. There's just so many. 2003, Ronnie Coleman. 2011, Phil Heath. Like I said, so many. Very hard to choose.
Moving on to the Muscle Man. He asks, did Ronnie Coleman suit his aesthetic physique, such as 1993, or more of a mass monster look?
I'm actually quite passionate about this. I believe that Ronnie Coleman looks more aesthetic being a mass monster. He never had the most aesthetic flow as a quote-unquote natural athlete, which he was, I believe, for quite a while. But for Ronnie to look his best, I believe he needed to have that extra mass, an extra muscle.
Next question is from Bohan Alexandru. He asks, which is your top favorite bodybuilder ever? Or top five favorite bodybuilder ever.
Favorite. So it has nothing to do with being the greatest. Obviously my favorite, if you follow my channel, Robbie Robinson. He's the greatest of all time. Franco Columbu. He was also my favorite for many, many years. How many do we got? 5? There's 2. Gotta throw Bill Pearl in that list. I love my Dave Draper. There's so many. There's so many. Hard to really throw another name in there. There's so many modern bodybuilders. Geez Louise, you said 5. So we got Robbie. We got Franco, Bill Pearl, Dave Draper. I don't know. Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I like them all, guys. Sergio Oliva, Serge Nubret. Many, many.
Next question is from, sorry if I butchered this, Charbel El Maulem. Body fat percentage? Question mark.
Myself? Body fat percentage right now? Probably 12%. 12 to 13. It's a good range if you want to build muscle. I'm not trying to cut weight right now.
Mario Ultimate Art. You kind of already answered this question, but he asks, Marx Max Muscle, who is your favorite bodybuilder?
Robbie Robinson, no doubt. He's the greatest.
Perfect. Next question is from Steve George. Can we make bodybuilding safer, or did we lose that opportunity when we gave up drug testing in 1990 in the IFBB and only sporadically tried testing for diuretics a couple of times afterwards?
I believe diuretics are the one thing that they should be testing for, as we lost most bodybuilders due to that. And yes, it was tested in the 90s, supposedly, but it takes a certain amount of time for all the drugs to get out of your system, so I'm sure these guys were not working with a completely natural physique to begin with. And it is pretty ridiculous and utterly ridiculous to call a bodybuilder completely natural when you could look at a Hollywood movie and see a man that is totally enhanced. And there's no laws against that. So why would you watch the Mr. Olympia competition if you could watch an action movie and have the action star be more muscular than the natural bodybuilder? I would definitely say that bodybuilding will always have a certain amount of drugs, steroids, things of that nature. But I mean the human growth hormones and the other things that they use, and insulin, it does not help with the physiques whatsoever. So I believe that with top genetics, top supplements, that we could have a safer and better physique for tomorrow.
Mario Ultimate Art asks another question. What is your favorite Olympia show?
There's a really good one. It's too bad we don't have the older footage of some of the older events. I love watching the 1980s, early 80s, 80, 81, 82, 83. I love those events so much. 84, when Lee Haney took over, some of the footage is hard to get. Through the 90s is good as well. But I much prefer the early 80s to sit down and watch an Olympia event, 1982, 83. Primo. Of course, 75 is pumping iron, so I guess you would have to go with 75.
Emperor himself asks, what supplements are worth buying for natural lifters to help build muscle, strength, recovery, etc.?
That would have to be a personal preference, and you can't just go by what other people say. Because people are going to try things, and they're going to see results. They're going to swear by that product and that product only. I myself, creatine, of course some protein powders, BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. Mix it myself with the creatine afterwards. But other than that, guys, it's mostly about dieting. You get your meals in, you get your protein in, and not all the protein at once. You have to split it up. It's more to do with the protein. Then get your creatines, BCAAs. Other than that, look it up, do your research.
Unfortunately, the next question is inappropriate for YouTube. So we're going to move on. It's a good one. I'll ask you later. Odd Elusive asks, did think today classic physique competitors could win 70s and 80s Mr. Olympia?
No, I do not, because they're weight restricted. If they could go open, then sure. But you gotta think. Those guys are classified as classic physique because they didn't have the mass growth hormones and things of that nature. But they were the top of the line of genetics. Your Arnold Schwarzeneggers, your Sergio Olivas. They were clearly better than a classic physique guy. There's no question. There's no comparison. Robbie Robinson would smoke any classic physique competitor.
This question is from Enrique Ernesto. He asks, where do you live?
I live in Canada, Maritime Province.
East side. And Vegar Salinas asks, the best NABA Mr. Universe athlete of all time in your opinion?
Wow. The most famous is probably Steve Reeves, of course, Reg Park. But you're talking the best athletes. Oh, I like your Brian Buchanan's, Lance Dreyer's, for the more modern, the 80s rather. But I guess Reg Park was probably maybe the most renowned for a NABA athlete. Alright, we have probably time for one more question, I guess.
How long have you been training? Sorry, this is from King Conan. Fitting end. How long have you been training seriously? And do you have any plans to bulk up? Or to bulk, that's it.
Well, I've been training like everybody for years and years, but to serious training, I've been training about 7 years. 6 or 7 years. But I had a strenuous labor job, and really the gains that I did make were put on hold each and every year, and I only had a couple of months really to bulk up. But who knows with the future? I'm never looking to really bulk up huge like people think. I'm almost 40 years old, so it's more of a game just to maintain what I have. Not interested to bulk. I'm not a competitor. I don't compete. I'm natural. Alright.
You want to do another question?
Well, what do you guys think? One more question? Alright, one more question.
Next question is from George Rhodes. Who is, in your opinion, the worst pro bodybuilder of all time?
What a question to end on. The worst pro bodybuilder. Wow. Well, I guess it would probably be somebody that I wouldn't know of, but because I wouldn't have heard of him because he wouldn't be that good, but I'll try to think of somebody with a terrible physique. Oh. There was a guy from the early 80s. Big, long, gangly arms. He had a blonde, curly fro. I'm telling you right now, he had a big mustache. He was funny. He had some good peaks, but he had a really long arm. And if I will comment in the section, I will look him up, and I will comment in the section below, the comment section. That is probably one of the worst physiques I've ever seen in bodybuilding.
One bonus question, and this is for everybody.
Have your protein shakes, guys. We're going on 14 minutes here.
This is the last one, and this is for everybody. I'm sure
15
everybody's
maybe.
asking.
Alright.
This is from Effing Gratitude. Are you Marx or Max?
I'm Marx Max Muscle, baby. Don't forget it. I'm Mark. Max. I'm Marx Max Muscle.
Alright.
Hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A, and thank you very much to my secretary. Don't worry, she will be reimbursed for sure. You did an outstanding job. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hit thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.